Well, it's summer and it's a rainy day, and I'm off jury duty early, and I can't really go out and play in my sandbox or jump around on some playground equipment or beat up any fat kids in the neighborhood today. So what do nerds do when it's rainy and ugly outside? We build shit. So I got an insane amount of negative feedback from my last homebrew computer blog, which is always nice. So basically, I thought about a rebuild, which, you know, I got server parts coming and going all the time with my vocation, so I thought, what the hell? It's not very nice out anyways. Snakes are full. Dogs even on the couch. Hell, let's do a rebuild. So I'm going to call this homebrew computer blog SLI rebuild. So we got some junky parts in my little lab of horrors here. Went with the Antec 900, which is probably, in my opinion, one of the better looking, better ventilated cases available. Also extra fanage. Gonna kick it up to the Core 2 processor for this rebuild. Here's the previous concoction. I'm gonna redo some of the parts in there and make it a more tame server class kind of basic machine for someone else. Gonna go with Vista Ultimate Core 2 Duo, 4 gigs of XMS DDR RAM, DDR2 obviously, 4 gigs at Corsair, good stuff, matched pairs, and just got this little monster in then. We're gonna do SLI GeForce 8800s. So SLI, that'd be interesting considering these monsters, you know, pull 350, 400 watts a piece as it is. So in order to make that happen, go back to my nasty pile here. There's one of the other ones. We're going to need to upgrade our power supply in this box to something along these lines. That's 850 watts of real power. So I don't know. We'll try it and see how it works out. So 850 watt power supply. Asus Enforce NVIDIA chipset on the motherboard. Heat pipe cooling. 2 channels of 16 PCI Express. So this ought to be an interesting rebuild. I'm calling it a rebuild because it's, well, I guess it's not truly a rebuild because it's all new components and a new case. But let's call it a another version maybe. So homebrew computer blog version 2 SLI, and I guess I'll start making a mess with all this unboxedness, and I'll see what we come up with here. Seems like I got something else in the box too that's kind of fun. Oh yeah, I was gonna try the Silverstone fans, the hot ones, 800 RPMs, and Cooler Masters Gemini 2 CPU cooler. Looks pretty spiffy. Supposed to be able to tame even the Prescotts, so we'll see. Certainly has plenty of heat pipes. And when I got forgot about the Western Digital, I believe it's the Predator. I'll have to open it up. Raptor. That's the 150 gig serial ATA 10,000 RPM Psycho drive. So I think we're going from the ground up pretty good here. I've left room for upgrades on this because obviously I could take this guy up to a quad core at some point. Take it to quad core. I could take the RAM up a little higher frequency. I could also upgrade the processor all the way to, so there's plenty of room for upgrade with this system, so that's sort of why I chose this motherboard and its chipset. So there's a crappy Mac. We will check back shortly, because after all, Asus is heart-touching. In between playing on my new build, I gotta do a little work here. I gotta throw some Windows XP genuine advantage kits on some computers and kind of do them, so that'll be the background noise, is all the fabulous uberness of the Windows Genuine Advantage kit being installed, which is just a version of Windows XP for dirty rotten pirates. Fun. So it's the previous incantation. Until 965 maybe. Chipset, which is solid and stable but painfully slow, and obvious crap processor, so I'm going to basically change this entire system around and make it a suitable server for my business, which will be just fine for video capture applications. And we'll give them this boring simple Antec case, and we'll move into the 900 series Monster Beast. But before I can do that, I have to nuke it, put a different drive in, degrade the RAM quite severely, and get them their own nice non-Netherlands Windows XP, which I have. That looks pretty darn real. Little sticker and everything. There's the NVIDIA Enforce chipset, full of heat pipes and copper and lots of inputs and outputs and just crap loads of copper and a bunch of junk in the box as well. So it's a pretty nice motherboard. I guess we'll put it through its paces later and see how it actually does, but it looks pretty darn good to me. And so there's all its associated paraphernalia, and our little side project still doing its thing over here with its hacked serial ATA CD drive, having to fill in the blanks for the ghetto one that I included. So awesome. And Mac's doing the best it can to try to do just a basic update over there. Poor little Mac. So yeah, rocking. We're starting to unpack some stuff here and get a feel for what it's going to look like. Got your serial ATA cables, your strange little add-in audio card thing, some new bright idea on a single mount sort of ATX connector block, bunch of USB port hacks, and a FireWire, which was kind of nice to see, and your good old SLI cable. I guess that's your link of your two cards together, and imagine all the bullshit going between that little wire, or ribbon cable I guess I should say. So rock on. We be happening. Got my shirt up a little bit Magna PI style. Got about 32 chest hairs here. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, so come on with it, haters. I ain't scared. Oh, blue screen, good old day. Okay, we're gonna do a final check to make sure we can't run, play outside, wash a car, or anything. And yes, it has been determined by the local weather meteorologist association that today is a computer building day. Tortoises barely dare to come out in this kind of rain. Horrible. Build on. Last chance. Macs are so total ponage that the I guess a firmware update is going to require AC power, so of course I'm totally spent here. I don't have a surge protector, additional pluggage, and I've already raped that hole over there in the wall pretty bad. So I had to pull this little number off here to get this AC power in order for my firmware update to occur, and I'd like to start taking bets on how long it's going to take before this death trap kicks in. The ADA would be rolling in their graves right now if they saw this. So I guess luckily it's got the magnetic power connection feature that is a Mac exclusive, so perhaps some comedy will ensue later, perhaps not, we'll see. Got my knife from Outback Steakhouse here that looks kind of like a Rogue kind of appliance. It's about as good as I can get for a box opener here, so we'll get this 900 open and see what it can do for us here. Hope there's not like a immigrant or something in here, because I'm digging in pretty deep. I hate it when you open boxes from foreign countries and little heads pop out. I guess we'll see. Bloomin' Onion. Case boxes. It's all the same. Main reason I enjoyed this case so much was the sheer ludicrous nature of it. That is quite possibly the most retarded fan I've ever seen in my life, size-wise at least. And it's got a nice little console-y thing right here for you to maybe put a drink on top of your multi-$1,000 SLI setup. I love that. The irony of this is perfect. I'm sure they'd tell you that's for digital devices and change and RAM sticks and condoms, but we all know what's going to end up there. It's going to be beers, Cokes, maybe a little crystal meth line here. So right next to the ventilation shaft here, which is powered by a fan that is equal to the size of my hand, which is, as we've spoken about before, a rather large hand. So let's get this monster out of the box and see about the retarded nature of this whole thing. Yeah. Mac's still trying to update, and Windows XP still trying to install via a incredibly loud Serial ATA DVD writer. Data. Well, our firmware update's complete, and it's hard enough to get a Mac to boot, and this one has successfully. That doesn't mean it won't reboot randomly or shut down unexpectedly almost constantly, but for now it's definitely booted. We got new firmware on several pieces of hardware, so excellent. New hope for a potentially working system here. This is my second Mac. I had to replace my first one after 2 months of incredibly light use. I think I booted it about 11 times according to my syslog, and it failed miserably and pathetically, so much like Apple itself will one day. So I got this purely for a toy, 100% toy, because everybody knows Macs are not for anything serious whatsoever. Back to our massive, incredibly stupid fan. I'm totally in love with this thing. Totally in love with this thing. Let's see the inside view. Oh. This is what I look like looking in through the fan. If you were a ball of pubes gathered up in the bottom as this intake fan on the side sucks you in, this is the view you'd see as I stared down upon thee. Yeah, so that's a fan. I would say that is not just a fan, that is the fan. And I assume we're going to suck some heat right out of this case. So, fascinating. There's our cup holder / drug paraphernalia area. Bay for inputty things. And the front's pretty much just a lot more intake ventilation, so we should be blowing lots of air in and out of this thing. Yeah, I'm a complete and total Cooler Master fanboy. Have been since the I guess socket 478 days, trying to overclock original crap Pentium 4s. They really do a lot of really interesting, innovative things with their cooling systems, and this one's a one called the Gemini 2, I believe. It's got heat pipes and kind of an interesting design. There's the CPU header, I guess you'd say. The deal with this one is once installed, and if you add active fans, which I have purchased, it actually claims to cool motherboard components as well, probably just inductively, but still it's pretty spaz looking. I'm gonna have to go get a real laptop because I'm not gonna be able to listen to XM radio on this one, because as usual Macs support basically iPods and maybe 2 other faggy programs and about maybe 6 or 7 programs in the range of $1,100 a piece that are really only useful to people creating actual films and or art. So I'm gonna put this $3,000 brick away and get an actual laptop that'll play some different types of media and streaming content. Excellent. Because it's just way too quiet in here. And you ain't helping over there. Well, it is processor time. I've already done some pre-work on the done a little bit of work on the heatsink already. So I'm gonna crack into this freak. I actually have to install this guy before we mount the motherboard. In this case, because the heatsink has a back bracket that has to go on it. You won't be needing the stock cooler. I just need the processor itself. I'll save that for another project. There she is. I know I should be wearing a static wrist strap, but I'm not. So there. I probably shouldn't have eaten Pringles before I started trying to do this either. But I am, so there. Looks like the pins are all good. For the little socket points. And try not to touch the surface, because I'm going to have to bond that pretty soon here and slam them down. There we go. Very nice. Ridiculous heatsink. That is what I call motherboard bling right there. There's a lot of copper shiny shit. That is, I guess. Now it's not passive cooling, or if it is, it's not going to be when I'm done with it. I'm going to put some killer big fans on it, but that's basically what you got when you get it installed. Arctic silver heat compound, and I can kind of see the deal with the airflow. It might cool some of these surrounding components, and that's pretty cool. But I gotta also wonder, all that air is going to come off the heat bridge there. It's going to be hot too, but I guess air is air and whatever. Pretty sharp. Nice nice heat sink for a system that's going to have a Windows side. Got the real laptop, XM radio scrolling, and about to jam the motherboard into the case. So I guess when we get this done, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fans of air circulation. We'll have to be real careful on how we have an intake and an outtake. But that's what it looks like, which is a pretty wicked heatsink, I think. I need to I should have probably put the RAM in before I put it in the case, because I'm running low on space here, but I got pretty sneaky little fingers. I can probably get it in there no problem. So we'll jam some screws into this and then throw some maybe 4 gigs of DDR2. Here we go. Yeah, I have to say this power supply is an absolute monster. You can see the heat sinks in there and the fans, and an extreme amount of cordage. Various PCI inputs and PCI graphics, and I believe it has 6 or 8 rails. I'll have to check that. Looks like it's going to be an absolute monster. I was also rather impressed by the fact that when you buy this power supply, you get a bottle opener. So that's pretty cool. Plus for a Cooler Master. I know this looks kind of ghetto, but apparently they only shipped me my one Silverstone fan. I'd ordered 2, so I'm going to stick this other one in for now, just to keep an air movement across the left side of the heat bridge there. And we will go for the big power supply here, jam them in there, and at least try to get to a BIOS screen here very shortly. So we're moving right along here. Just a little bit of power supply wiring and some initial peripheral installation. Got a DVD writer stuck in there. Serial ATA. Gonna really take some time when I get this thing built out and do some cable management, because it's a pretty outrageous amount of wires here to make I guess an SLI system or dual graphics card system work well, just for the many power cables. And I don't want to restrict a lot of airflow, so I'm going to try to pick a common direction to take them all in, and maybe split them left and split them right, and then when I'm finished maybe tie wrap a little. Try to keep the main heat pipes open, but with, you know, a ton of ventilation like we have here, it's not going to be a big concern. So just basically creating a massive rat nest. We'll see how we test out here in a second. Just a quick little update, doing a little hard drive installation here. It's kind of cool. This case has a removable drive bay that includes a 3-speed fan and a ventilation in the front, and it's real easy. Just pop it right out and slide it in. And on another note, I want to take a quick video of this Raptor drive's glass lens on the top, where you can actually visibly see the spindle and the drive actually moving around. So it's kind of a bummer to waste such a cool feature, but it's going to be tucked away in this case. But my hope is that when the light on this LED and this fan comes on, you might be able to look at it at the right angle and just kind of see the metal moving around. Might be kind of cool. So, installation of hard drive. Did a little bit of cable maintenance, tidied up a little bit, still got all my connections made. Added that ridiculous hard drive and got my 2 connectors ready to go for SLI in a minute here. I'm just going to boot it up for its initial power on, just to make sure that the heatsink is doing its job. All 4 gigs of RAM are doing their thing. The video card's at least working. I just want to get to a BIOS and make sure power supply is happening and just do the initial power up. God help us, because this is certainly a beast. See what happens here. Got a green light on the motherboard. I don't have a LCD monitor on my little workstation here, so I'm gonna stick this little cheat here. Throw a keyboard on there. Just trying to get to a BIOS here. Nothing exciting, nothing special. I took off that god-awful fan because it was just so horribly ghetto looking. This is so gorgeous in here. Alright, we're just about ready. First time power up. Alright. Lots of fans moving. Come on, BIOS. Come on, BIOS. I better bump that video cable loose. So I just sort of ghettoed that into place. Yeah. There we go. Oh man. This is what you don't want. Boy, this hurts right here. Well, let's look at some connections. That's more like it. I had one of my DIMMs, or whatever the hell they're called, was just a swirly, just a little tiny bit loose. So I reseated all 4 of them, and we're going to, there's our RAM. Yeah, baby. Good. Let's check it. I have no fan on here at present, so I'm dying to see what this thing will do passively with all this ridiculous amount of fanage. Looks pretty cute so far, like the hard drive light. Alright. Not bad. Back from dinner, and we're holding a, without a fan, a stable 31, 32 degrees Celsius, which is perfectly acceptable for CPU temperature. Obviously, I'm sure that's not 100% accurate, but at least it's not completely off the chart. I hope we can throw some additional fans on this and really drop it down some for some real gains. We'll see. But gosh, it's hard not to screw up the look of it. Is that noisy enough for you? It's 8 fans.
Who's that?
That's that case I swapped out for that other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, look at all that ridiculous bullshit. It's plenty loud. This is not for quiet cases.
What was that?
Graphics card in GeForce 8800 GTX. It's retarded. Look at it. Well, that's another fan even. I forgot about it. Oh. I think we got that white fan is leaving or becoming black, so that's a temporary issue. I guess we'll go ahead and do an OS install and see what happens. Otherwise, we're looking pretty damn rock on. He's out there right now with it in the bucket, and he's scared to death of these things. Don't kill it. Is it awful? Let's see. Oh God, I'm ready. Ow!
It's poisonous.
It's little tiny.
How do you know he's not mean though?
Southern ringneck snake.
Yeah, but he's green. That's what makes me think he's poisonous.
He's a little gay
He's like a
one.
water moccasin.
Maybe he's poisonous.
What do you have on your fingers?
Whatever's in the bottom of that bucket.
Oh, that's right, that dookie bucket I've been using.
Nice.
Shit.
That's
Is it?
probably.
I'm serious.
I think that's just a little
I
ringneck
don't
snake.
know. It's a weird color.
He's nice. Let's let him go in the pepper woods. The pepper woods.
Dude, it could be water moccasin.
Now I got my nasty hand on the camera. He's just a little turkey.
I don't think you want that thing go anywhere around here. Maybe out in the deck. If you want to go out here, I'm not able to kill it. It's weird. I found them in the pine straw.
I think they eat bugs and worms. So let's catch and release, shall we? Here we go, little guy. He's tiny. You can barely see him. He blends right in. He blends right in. There he goes. Whee. Take off, you hoser. He is very small. I think they call that a southern ringneck snake. They don't get very large.
He looks different though. It's kind of green, ain't
Yeah, he does. He might be ready to molt or something, or shed. Shoo, shoo, shoo. That or he's the world's smallest water moccasin. Well, that wasn't very exciting. What else you got?
Almost got stung. There's a big wasp nest.
That's a final update and a little disc check, 'cause I had a driver mismatch on my RAID controller. It kind of screwed everything up, but other than that, we're back up, and I'm gonna get everything rolling before I do the SLI configuration, add the other card and all that. But we're stable now. I haven't put any kind of weird beta hack drivers on there. I've just used the NVIDIA ForceWare drivers everybody thinks is so stuck, but I'm just staying pretty basic for the moment. So pretty cute little system, I think. I think we'll see some good stuff out of it. I'm through. Well, that is the sound of a functioning SLI system. Looking pretty good. Got the cable management pretty much finished up. Got both 8800 GTXs installed and linked, set up, and working. Got all the fans turned on, and we're about ready to start bench testing and beating the hell out of this thing and see what we can do with it. So that's the sound of a healthy SLI system. Wind in your face. Not too shabby. Definitely not the quietest computer ever made, but it's certainly built for speed. So she looks like ass up. Pretty clever. Power supply on bottom. More fans and a air tunnel, wind tunnel, whatever. Blow me. Someone knows how to light up a room right there. Antec's got night lights down to a science. I like this up front view. I just wish you could see the transparent hard drive in there. You kinda can. The Raptor X has a glass covering over the drive so you can see the spindle moving. Yes. Yes. Three 4 5 5 3 1 328060 772783 126810 265902 574360 316993 716023 601226 1 No. Yes. One. Yes. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on, robot whore. Go on. I'm finished. I said I'm finished. I'm finished, like someone from the Netherlands. Finland, red flag. I think it's got a white border. Finish, finish, finish. Don't transfer me. No. 0. Finish, finish, finish. I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm finished. That will do. Thank you.